what does it take to scale up to 10, 11 laundromats from that first one? If there's somebody listening who, maybe has one or two and wants to get to that point, like what does it take to get to these different levels?
Willingness for a lot of risk, I would say, first off, but then a good relationships. A tip I would have is having a good relationship with your insurance agent, with your attorney, with a fantastic broker. I mean, there's a lot of brokers out there, and like you've had bad experiences with distributors. There's brokers out there that can provide you bad experiences as well.
I've had bad experiences with brokers too. So
yeah, I mean, and quite frankly, that might even be easier. But so having and building a great relationship with a broker who's going to be constantly looking to help and have the realization that he's going to succeed when you succeed. So he's going to be bringing you good locations and things like that, and working and fighting on your behalf to give you the proper deals. So having that, but then also having a fantastic financial relationship that with a banker who you can go to, and he can review your information, review your stores, and say, hey, you know what? Hey, you are prepared and ready to go into another store. Let's work on it. Let's see what it takes. And then educate you along the way, and help you be able to take the equity and run from 3 into 4, et cetera. So putting that team together is a big deal. Going from a few stores. I mean, you can do a few stores on your own. Once you start getting into half a dozen to 10 stores or beyond, you have to have a team. And then internally, you obviously have to build your internal team as well, of management and maintenance and all that good stuff.
Yeah. At what point did you bring on or did you like managers or a manager to help you manage multiple locations? I
would say about store number 3. Store number 3 was when we brought on a manager, because it varies based on the size of the store and what is required at each store, and are they attended or are they not? Because is that manager overseeing scheduling of attendance, or are they just overseeing a cleaner coming in for a couple hours? So, and then as we started building larger stores and more attended stores, then it required more store managers and more a regional manager type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So you started adding sort of the layers of management there too. I mean, when did you go to the regional manager?
Store 7 or 8.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, are there like unique challenges? Like what did it change when you brought on that first manager? Like for you as sort of the architect of this business, like how did your role shift when that manager came on?
Along the same lines of, any business. I mean, I've experienced it like in the distribution side, but then on the laundromat side, the levels of growth. I mean, there's building stress and requirements and responsibilities, pain points, until you hit a ceiling. And then once you make a decision to, for instance, hire a store manager, you break through that ceiling. And some of those responsibilities, those day-to-day responsibilities come off of you, in terms of communicating with, whatever the case is, 10 attendants. Now you have a store manager or whatever that is relaying back to you, and you're working with them, and then you're reviewing the financials, on a more regular basis. So, I mean, going through those breaking through those ceilings and having those different growth levels, and it builds up. I mean, there's not just one. You continue to excel. I mean, as long as you're growing your business and as long as you're adding more stores and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. I appreciate you sharing that stuff, because I think, it's different skill set, right? When you start to scale to that size and you start bringing on more employees, and then you start bringing on management, and then you start bringing on a regional manager to manage management, and your role continues to shift, and you have different skills that you needed to develop in order to be able to help your business evolve like that. Right. And that could be a little bit, I mean, I don't hear people talking about that in our industry very often, because frankly, not that many people have 10 plus laundromats in our industry. I mean, there's some, but not that many, I would say, have 10 plus laundromats. So, yeah, awesome. But I think a lot of people aspire to that. So I appreciate you sharing.
Sure.